Oh, no sound. There we go. Well, hi. Oh man. So, friends, I apologize for wasting 1 minute of your time. It's should be hearing me now. I think everything is fine. We've got everything turned up. Yes. Anyway, I was saying that I'm by myself because, as you know, Cody has been on dad duty the last few weeks because his wife is teaching yoga classes on Monday. Well, tonight he sent me a message a few minutes ago saying the baby's having a full meltdown and I'm going to be a couple minutes late, maybe. So go ahead and start without me. And I texted him back to see if he wanted to bail. I haven't heard back from him. So he may be here, he may not. If he's not here, we're going to keep this short because, quite frankly, I've been talking by myself for the last few hours on WTMJ. And we'll see what's up. Hello to Cindy. Hello to Mike. Hello to Linda, everybody who's jumping in. Glad you are here. All right, behind the scenes, I had turned off my mixer after the radio show and forgot to turn it on now. So that's why there was no sound at the beginning. It's been last week, if you were here, you know, Cody and I were both sick. I am feeling 90% better, which is great. It was so bad that Wednesday, both my co-teacher and myself both took the day off because we were sick. Because as I said, children are disgusting. First graders. And I don't mean in any other way except they are hygienically challenged. I forgot that you have to teach a kid how to blow their nose. I guess, like, I don't remember. Molly's been blowing her nose for a long time, usually without any help. So I don't remember us having to teach her to blow her nose, but I'm sure we did because we're not born with the innate ability to blow our nose. So kids at school will take their Kleenex. And for those of you who are watching on the video portion, they'll roll up, they'll just jam it in their nose, or they'll blow their nose like here, and it's all over their hands. And then the hands, they're wiping their nose, and they're wiping their hands on their thing. Then they're touching everything, touching my desk, touching the iPads, and sneezing right in our face. I had a kid sneeze in my face again today. So this is it. We're both sick. So we show up Tuesday, my co-teacher and myself, and we're both, I knew from the minute I saw her, she was sick. And she said she knew the minute she saw me, I was sick. It was just one of those. And she said, I'm going to get a COVID test. I'm going to get a flu test, and I'm not coming in tomorrow because I just feel awful. And I was like, all right, well, I feel awful too, but I'll plan on coming in. And I did. I had everything ready. I put everything out. My alarm went off at 5:30 and I could barely lift my head off the pillow. It hurt so much. So I decided to stay home too. So I took a sick day. Well, look who's here. West Suburban Father of the Year. You could have just, we would stop. Hi, welcome.
We could have just what? I heard you could have just something and then hi, welcome.
I sent you a text. Did you want to bail?
No. Well, I didn't until about 3 seconds ago.
Oh, that poor baby.
She's been
Don't shake her.
Oh my God. She's been beyond unconsolable all day.
Oh no, is
all
she
day.
Sick?
Don't know. I don't think so.
She has an ear infection?
No.
Isn't that what babies get? They get a lot of ear infections.
I don't know. She's been gassy in the past. Oh, that's great.
She's too young to be teething, right? Yeah, she's too young for teething.
She might be starting teething soon, possibly. This is great.
She is not happy. She is not happy.
Wow, yeah. Me holding her is the only thing that's stopped her from being like this all day, but evidently me holding her right now is not like the right kind of holding her.
Listen, she doesn't like your relationship to be public. She wants your relationship to be private, and you bring it on here, and she feels exploited. She doesn't want to be exploited.
Maybe she shouldn't play on the podcast then. She knows the mic is hot. The mic is hot, little girl.
Yeah, we don't do that with a mic in the room, little baby. Yeah, I know. It's very hard. It's hard to be calm when your dad is on doing things.
I guess it could be an ear infection. Is that a thing?
Ear infections are a huge thing.
I know it's a thing, but I don't know. She just saw the doctor Friday.
Maybe she's just miserable.
Well,
maybe she's having a bad day.
Well, she's been really gassy, and the doctor
Okay, that'll
insisted
hurt.
that's nothing to worry about. It actually means they're just growing really fast.
Oh, is that what it means? Because
Apparently,
if I get a growth spurt, I just start farting.
it might mean something a little different around you and me. Maybe I'm not sure.
So, I had never heard that babies get gassy when they're growing.
Apparently,
is that because it's stretching? Everything is stretching out. Their intestines and their bodies and their.
I didn't ask a lot of follow-up questions.
See, that's where I would be all over the follow-up questions.
Well,
no, just for my own, so I could drop that knowledge at a cocktail party.
Oh, for sure. My wife may have asked the follow-up question. I did not. I'm on a need-to-know basis kind of guy.
I would bring it up anytime somebody farted. I go, "Oh, are you having a growth spurt?" And they'd go, "What?" And I go, "Well, interestingly enough, babies get very gassy when they're having a growth spurt. And since you obviously are having gas issues, I thought maybe, you were a man baby and were just having a growth spurt and not just a pig."
I was just telling somebody the other day, not one of my highlights, but one of the perks of working with you for so many years was that you had no sense of smell.
Yes.
So I would come in after eating ungodly food and I would destroy anyone in that room, but you just never knew. It was great.
Yeah, I just, my blissful ignorance, never knew what was cooking.
And believe me, it was definitely blissful. Hey, I'm Cody Gough. I'm the co-host of Realities May Vary, along with my lovely 3 and change month old daughter, who apparently, if I move the entire time, we'll be fine. So we're all going to get a workout. And tomorrow's leg day at the gym, so I'm not sure how that's going to play out. I may have to call my trainer and say, you know what? I would come in and do squats, but I did about 800 of them over,
Well, what kind of weight you got? I don't know, like 20 pounds in my squats. Oh, you froze up too.
Oh, of course. Even better. Even better.
Well, that's all right. I did the first minute without my microphone turned on. So that's exciting. We are professionals. We are professionals. Because I didn't have a producer in my ear yelling, "Your mic's not on. Your mic's not on."
Yeah.
So thank you for Mike and Cindy were the producers yelling, "You don't have any sound." I was like, oh. So I was talking away. I was brilliant for that first minute.
I heard you took a sick day, and that's rare for you. You didn't do it I think one time you had you had like an operation or something, or you broke something and you didn't come into the station, but that was the only reason you didn't come in.
I took one sick day, I think before when Lindsay was working with me, because I was literally in the emergency room and they were about to, take me up. So that was one day. But if you remember, I worked the night I got admitted to the hospital for when my leg was all infected.
I remember that.
I did the show and then went home and went to the hospital.
I remember that.
Yeah, it was so bad. I just felt so awful, and the kids are doing nothing to help. No matter how many times we show them videos about washing their hands and covering their mouth and talk to them about it, there's no stopping it. And so many kids in the room are sick and have been sick for like a week and a half, and their parents aren't keeping them home. Then we send them to the nurse, and the nurse gives them an ice cube or a tiny shot glass of water and sends them back. Because unless they have a fever, they don't send them home, or they're actively vomiting.
Mm-hmm.
So I may have to start bringing some that Ipecac, so get the kids to throw up a little bit. Send them right home.
Is that a thing that makes kids throw up?
Makes everybody throw up.
Oh,
yeah. Why, you want some?
Sure.
I'm talking about throwing up.
Maybe my daughter could use it. I'm not sure.
I threw up the other night for the first time in a long time.
Oh man.
Yeah, man, it was crazy.
Not a fan of that. My family's mostly avoided being sick. I was under the weather last week, but I think a lot of things are going around,
Yeah. Oh, it is. Here's what scared me the most about getting sick in the middle of the night. Debbie did not wake up. I could have died. I was, I was hacking, then I was getting sick, and I'm in the bathroom, and I'm not going to, lay there and go and whine. But she just kept snoring away. Next morning, she goes, "How are you?" I go, "I'm really tired. I didn't sleep well." "Oh, no, what happened?" "Oh, I was up sick." "Really? I didn't even hear you." I'm like, "Yeah, no doubt." She didn't care. The dogs didn't care. Nobody cared. Could have died right on the bathroom floor.
Yeah, I think my wife and I are like that at certain times. Actually, lately what she does is she passes out, I don't know, between like 11 and midnight or something. And my daughter is actually a pretty good sleeper for being 3 months old. Like
She's not proving it by the podcast, but I understand.
no, but she's surprisingly good. So she goes down around that time actually, but she'll go down and then she'll like be gassy for like 10, 15 minutes. So she rolls around and she'll start like screaming. And so there are times when like I've been playing video games. You know, I go upstairs, I get them all tucked in, and I'm like, cool, I'm gonna go. And I go downstairs and I hear screaming from downstairs, which is across my house, down my stairs.
Yeah.
For the one staircase on the other end. I come upstairs. So I'm like, oh, I better go upstairs. And, you know, I'll put on her tummy for a second, hold her for a minute until she kind of passes gas, and then I'll put her down and she'll be good. But like she'll literally be screaming and I can hear her from across the house. My wife is just out.
Oh, geez.
Out next to her in the bassinet.
See, that's dangerous. All these women just with the sound sleep. And then I wonder if they're faking it. Like, I don't know. Debbie may have heard me and just went, there's really nothing I can do.
I don't know.
I'm just going to leave them in there.
I just massaged her head a little bit, and that gets her a little drowsy, and now she appears to be asleep.
Don't jinx it.
Dude.
Don't jinx it. You want to give your 30-second, 5-minute check-in?
God, I didn't even, like, I was so busy juggling children, I barely had time to prep the podcast. It does appear as though I will, I've got things to talk about this week.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Let's do things
to talk about with the State Department, how that's going. What else happened this last week?
Hey, people want to know about your job. You teased that you might have a job.
I might. I just continue to tease that. I'll tease that. And then, but overall, I'm just glancing at my like schedule for the last week just to see what I've been up to. And God, not a lot, mostly working out. 5-minute, 10-minute check-in, fine. To this morning, this morning at the gym with my personal trainer, I did a full pull-up from a dead weight hanging position.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
So I'm getting swole, which is very exciting. Now I've done chin-ups. I've done chin-ups before, but not from literally hanging, kick my knees up and I'm like just hanging dead weight and then did the full thing. It was just pretty tough. It was pretty awesome.
Man.
Yeah.
You're a survivor now. You'll survive the zombie apocalypse.
I mean, maybe. My goal is when I started training, God, in like August, it's been like more than 6 months. My goal is a wide grip pull-up.
What are you doing now? One-armed?
No, just the closed grip. The closed grip. So the closed grip, like this, like underhand. I want to do the wide grip overhand.
Nice.
Which is all back muscle and shoulder, I guess, and stuff, but really hard to do. I've never been able to do one. I've done chin-ups. I guess I call them chin-ups. I don't know what the actual terminology is. I've done chin-ups in the past, but I've never done a wide grip pull-up. So there we go.
Dude. Pretty soon you're going to have to just wear like men's medium t-shirts. So you're just all giant. Just huge. So you just look swole and buff.
Do what I can. I'm hydrating a lot because then I what did I do? Came home, I had a protein shake, and then I did some errands, and I got a Wendy's, I got a Dave's double, and then I got
just
home.
Animal style, just the beef and the lettuce.
No. I'll take all the calories I can get, and then I got home, and my wife had Taco Monday. We're gonna do tomorrow, but whatever. Taco Monday, so we had 4 tacos. So
wow,
I'm hydrating because I had a lot of sodium in the last 6 hours.
All right, look at you, man. Oh man. I can't wait to see you just wearing bib overalls, because you can't wear a shirt.
I keep getting these Instagram ads. Have you seen these? They have these t-shirts that are tighter in the chest and shoulders.
Yes.
And then looser down below so that you look more like jacked. I'm so close to ordering some. If you're checking this out live in the chat, please let us know. Roger says hi. Hey, welcome back to you,
hey,
Roger. Hope you're doing great. Roger, I'm sure you have these shirts. So Roger, Roger
always looks buff.
How do you look in these shirts that are really tight around the chest and shoulders and show off your guns?
Well, now they show off his big neck brace, so his neck looks triple jacked.
Yeah. So have you been satisfied with your muscle exposition on that shirt? And just let me know in the chat.
If so, call 1-800 Cody's Buff.
What have you been up to?
Well, now just admiring your swollenness and feeling envious. I gotta get back and try to get myself swolled up again.
Yeah, you were super.
I was gonna get I I was thinking of cheating a little bit because I'm having a hard time getting motivated again like I was before.
Yeah.
So I was going to try Ozempic because they say that they're using it off brand for weight loss. But then they said it's causing Ozempic face, where you lose so much weight first in your face that your face is just hanging. And I'm like, no, I can't do that. I'll just have to do it the old fashioned way. Roger lost 10 pounds since surgery.
Yikes.
Well, yeah, because he probably couldn't eat. It probably felt like garbage.
Yikes.
Hopefully, when you're better, Roger, you'll have to come on and tell us all about it in gory detail.
Yeah, yikes.
Yeah, it'll be fun. No, so what have I been doing? So I've decided I'm not going to go on Ozempic. This week it was mostly, the first part of the week was just feeling awful. And it was one of those colds that you're just tired and, I'd take cold medicine to go to sleep. And then I'd wake up and it's like, so that was fine. But then Saturday, so I decided, Friday was the start of what used to be just one day for St. Patrick's Day. I don't know if you're old enough, Cody, to remember when St. Patrick's Day was just on the 17th of March. That's when we celebrated. Maybe if it fell on a Saturday, you'd celebrate it Friday and Saturday, but that was pretty much it.
Mm-hmm.
Now it's 2 weekends.
What?
Well, last weekend was the 11th, so everybody had their parades last weekend. The Chicago parade was Saturday. The Northwest Side parade was Saturday. The South Side parade was Sunday. The Milwaukee parade was Saturday. And all the bars and stuff were doing all these big things. So I was like, oh, man, I always love to celebrate a little St. Patrick's Day. Not as much as I did when I was younger, because then I was out of control. And I'd wear a leprechaun suit out to the bars. And let me tell you, ladies love leprechauns, especially 6'5" leprechauns.
I bet.
Oh, my goodness. Let's just say there was a lot of kissing of the Blarney Stones. But that's very off color. And I apologize to the children who are listening.
But like a sign to hold up.
Yeah. Are we going to have to make this one adult content just for one comment?
Nah, I think we're good.
All right. So I was on the air Friday night, but I decided, you know what? For some reason all week we had been talking about corned beef. So I was like, I'm going to make a corned beef for pre-St. Patrick's Day weekend and then make a corned beef on St. Patrick's Day weekend. So last Friday, put in a corned beef before I went to work and got home. Let it go for a little while longer. Debbie took it out of the oven. So we had corned beef and I had a couple Guinnesses last Friday. That kicked off the St. Patrick's Day celebration here at the house. So I got to say, I know your brother works for Costco. I got my corned beef the other day, the first one at Costco, because I was walking through and I see a big thing, $3 off. Now, it's still like $5.99 a pound, which is about right, I guess. Man, their corned beef was good, that Costco corned beef. So today, picked up another one on my way home from school.
Dude,
Costco corned beef.
There's some legit stuff. Even my brother's alma mater, Aldi, we just made something. We made some kind of like eggplant Parmesan, like I don't know, thing that was like a pre-made meal, and it's really good.
I gotta go to Aldi.
You gotta go to Aldi.
Everybody talks about Aldi. I gotta go back to Aldi.
Well, you got the Costco.
I used to go to Aldi when it was brand new in this country, and it was funky, just funky. So now it's evolved so much, it's probably not bad. So I'll do that. But anyway, so that was the start, and then Saturday, I had to go pick up my mom at the airport. And you know how much I love going to the airport. But, it's my mom. What am I going to do? Leave her stranded there?
No.
Just sitting there in a wheelchair? I can't do that.
Probably not.
I got to go get her. So, but my brother, I don't hear anything that she's left. Thankfully, my brother had sent her flight information a week ago because I've come to find out she changed her return date about 4 times. Thank God for Southwest not having change fees, or she'd be broke. I don't know what the hell was going on down there that she changed her coming back so many times. There's a lot of convoluted and conflicting stories of why she decided to flee Florida a couple days earlier than she was supposed to. Maybe she was afraid that since that's where woke goes to die, maybe she was going there to die. I don't know. But she felt like she had to get out, so she fled, and the timing couldn't have been better. Debbie agreed to come with me, so we pulled in and parked the car, walked into baggage claim as she came wheeling down, because she doesn't need a wheelchair in normal life, but she does when she's got to go to the airport.
Right.
So they wheel her down, and we meet her, and everything's fine. I get the and everything was fine. Everything was fine. Except I don't know. When people have hearing aids, sometimes they think they're yelling, and they're not. They're whispering. So I had to keep going, Ma, you got to speak up. And then I'm like, now I sound like the person who needs hearing aids, and I don't. I can hear just fine. Debbie was sitting in the back seat. Debbie said, I couldn't hear a word she was saying, so I just went to sleep. It's like, damn, I didn't get that. That was not an option for me. I had to stay awake. So we get her home, and I told, so she walks in and she sees the gallery wall that Molly created for her. And of course, Mike, we tipped the wheelchair pusher at the airport. What am I, an animal? Yes. Good Lord.
Which I almost LinkedIn messaged your daughter about the gallery wall.
I brought it up to her that you were requesting her thing. She found it surprising that a man of your stature would not know how to create a gallery wall. And she said she'll send a picture of hers. She goes, send him a picture of mine because mine is better than Grandma's. I said, oh, okay. Because hers is a whole hallway. Yeah. Hers covers a lot of real estate. So my mom saw the gallery wall, loved it, which was nice. And we say to her, cause we got her all settled. I did some things and went and got groceries and all that. And we're like, all right, do you want to get something to eat? She said, oh, I'm so hungry. Yes. All right. Dude. Sometimes, you let people pick. And that old sentiment or old statement, it's not your last meal. I almost stopped at McDonald's on my way home just in case that had been my last meal where we went with my ma. She goes, oh, somebody told me, because Debbie, she said, I don't know, her favorite place. She goes, that'll be crowded. I said, well, it's Saturday night. Every place is going to be crowded. Well, I don't know. And Debbie said, well, how about we go to Aurelio's, which is the pizza place that we grew up going to. And my mom made that face like, oh, Aurelio's? And I'm like, okay, where would you like to go? Well, the place with the flowers? And I'm like, what? No, what are you talking about? The place with the flowers? Up on the way to take care of the place with the flowers. I go, you mean the Busy Bee Nursery? She goes, yeah, that closed a long time ago. Now there's a restaurant, banquet place in there. And a couple of my friends have said they've gone there for funeral luncheons and it was really good. And I'm like, wow, that's where I want to go. Place that's good for funeral lunches.
This is already off to a good start.
Yeah. Oh man, I can't believe it. And she's like, and I know my sister won't go there with me because she thinks it's a front for them growing marijuana in the back. And I'm like, what are you talking about? Oh no, that's what she says, that she thinks they're growing marijuana out back. Okay. I said, well, is that where you want to go? She goes, I'd like to try it and no one else will go with me. And all right, well, we'll go with you. Famous last words. We get there and it's an old nursery. This nursery had been there since I was a little kid. Well, the nursery closed. This guy bought the building. So now it's a giant, open, echoey building with big 10-person banquet tables in it and a bar, and they were having a band that night. But the music, they were playing music just over the speakers that was so loud, My mom couldn't hear us. We couldn't hear her. We had to sit right next to each other because it was a big 10-person table. Those were the only tables they had. It was, let's just say it was not great.
Not a recommended venue.
No. Everything was either $22 or $24.
Oh God.
It was ridiculous. So we finish this semblance of a meal and we're walking out. And before I could say anything, my mom goes, "Well, I'm glad I don't have to go back there again." All right, good. So this will not be a discussion anytime we go out. Because there were a couple places that she would like to go back in the day that were just awful. And we go, "Ma, that place is bad." "Oh, I don't think so." I'm like, "Okay. Well, your brother likes it." I said, "Well, that would be great. He'll go there with you." I said, "Can we find another spot?" So, but yeah, so that was that. And then yesterday, for the first time in forever, I watched the Oscars. Did you watch the Oscars? I know the answer already.
Literally didn't even know it was happening. Except I saw something that one movie called like something really generic was very present. It's called like
Everything,
everything.
everything, everywhere, all
was.
at once.
Oh, I just thought it was called Everything.
Everything, everywhere, all at once.
Saw some headline that was like everything was everywhere at the Oscars. I'm like, that is a
It
weird
won
sentence.
7 Oscars.
Cool. Never heard of that movie.
It's it was all the buzz. That was the one that was the favorite going in.
Okay.
And it's you remember Short Round from Indiana Jones and the Temple of Doom?
Oh, the character, yeah.
Yeah, he was also in The Goonies.
Mm-hmm.
This was his big comeback. He won Best Supporting Actor. Oh, and he cried and cried. And then at the end, Harrison Ford is presenting Best Picture, and they win Best Picture. So he runs up and he hugs Harrison Ford. It looked just like a picture from Raiders of the Lost Ark. Or Temple of Doom, rather. And he's hugging him. And then Steven Spielberg, who cast them together, is sitting in the audience watching all this. So that was kind of neat.
Nice.
And that was a nice little thing. And turns out then 2 people from Encino Man won an Oscar. This guy and Brendan Fraser won Best Actor.
Nice.
The only one not at the awards last night, Pauly Shore. He was the only one who did not get an Oscar. So that was rough. I also watched part of the pre-show because Debbie was like, "The red carpet is starting." I'm like, "And we got to watch the red carpet." Do we really? Watch the red carpet. People who don't interview shouldn't interview. You know, it's just horrible. It's
wait. People who don't conduct the interviews?
People who don't conduct interviews shouldn't be hired to conduct interviews.
Please don't tell me they had YouTubers doing it.
They had a TikTok influencer who's a PA on something. And I was like, "Molly, do you know who this is?" She's like, "Absolutely not." He was maybe 22. I don't know. He was dressed all in black. And then he also had on black long satin gloves. He supposedly has a bunch of, he was doing more behind the scenes. They had ABC, which was the home of the Oscars, had Ashley Graham, who's a model. You ever heard of her?
Mm-mm.
She used to be called a plus size model. You know, she's a very beautiful woman. She's been in Sports Illustrated. She's lovely.
Oh, yeah.
She's not an interviewer. And she had a run-in with Hugh Grant. You got to look this up. It was the most awkward 47 seconds in the history of television because Hugh Grant doesn't suffer fools. And her questions were banal at best, insulting at worst. And it showed the depth because he made a Vanity Fair reference because she was like, who do you like to, what's the most exciting part about going to the Oscars? And he's like, I don't know. All of humanity is here. It's like a Vanity Fair, which is a novel. She went, "Oh yes, it's all about Vanity Fair. That's the place we go and cut loose and have fun after the Oscars are over." And I'm like, "Oh no, oh no, that's not it at all." And she asked a couple more questions. And oh yeah, Gina says, I love when she asked him what she was. So the first few questions just bomb. And then she goes, well, then who are you wearing? And he goes, my suit. And she goes, your suit? You didn't make the suit. Who? He goes, I don't know my tailor's name. Well, okay. Shout out to your tailor. She asked him about being in Glass Onion, and he goes, I was only in it for like 3 minutes.
That's amazing. I just watched like 10 seconds of it.
It was horrible.
While you comment on it, and it was his face says this.
His face says it all. He also compared himself to a scrotum later on when he was presenting.
Seems fine.
So Hugh Grant wins the Oscars last night,
dude. Yeah. Yeah. There are too many people that are allowed to interview who shouldn't. Mostly in podcasting, frankly, but also everywhere. And yeah, you see what happens.
The good people make it look easy, and it's anything but. And I know, Debbie and Molly were sticking up for her. Oh, she's got producers in her ear telling her this and that. I'm like, yeah, but she doesn't have the tools. And she wasn't the only one. There were a lot, even the so-called entertainment reporters. Because listen, I don't think anybody wants to go to the Oscars. It seems like a pain in the ass. You got to get all dressed up. You got to borrow jewelry from fancy people. You got to go. The Rock looked good. He was wearing a pink silk sport coat.
Of course, The Rock looked good. He's The Rock. He can't
not. The only problem is it's like, Rock, go up half a size. He's wearing this silk tuxedo jacket, and it looked like if he took a breath, it was just going to explode off his body. And I was like, we know how big you are, Rock. There's no question. Nobody's going to see you in a jacket that's, I don't know, just fits and you didn't have to be sewn into and go, boy, The Rock has let himself go. No. It was, and he was very funny. He was presenting for one of the early awards with Emma Blunt. Who was very pretty and very talented. But yeah, I enjoyed it though. I thought Jimmy Kimmel did a great job, except for a couple things. And, but overall it was good. I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh, now granted, I did take, a couple breaks here and there.
Oh, I thought you were going to say 4 edibles before you started watching it.
I was high
now, I definitely would have taken several edibles before watching that. I'm slightly distracted because my baby is now, she's still asleep, but she's just rubbing her face back and forth. She's not rooting. I know what rooting is.
Okay.
She's just rubbing her face back and forth. And I'm like, are you uncomfortable? Are you going to wake up? But she's just doing it. And it's fine.
Feels good.
I don't really care. She was out for a while. So that was fine. But no, well, I'm glad that you had fun watching you remember the morning show producer for WGN used to take the day off the day after the Oscars. Jim.
Oh, right. And Nick D always would take Sunday night off, Oscar Sunday night off, because I would always fill in for him.
Yes, and people back at the old station were big on the Oscars.
Yeah. I hadn't watched it all the way through in a long, long time. And it was okay. It was like it was 3:20, 3:30. To watch 3 hours and 30 minutes.
Well, the AEW pay-per-view last weekend was 3 hours 45 minutes. So
yeah, but that's nonstop action.
It's nonstop
action.
So much action, dude.
A lot of action.
Yeah, that's all my wife and I watch. Literally at all, actually.
AEW.
So, yeah, but I gotta tell you, man, that main event. Oh, I already told you about that last week. But anyway, it was a good time. Still a big fan of AEW. It's the only current thing we do. Like we just got to the last season of Silicon Valley, which was 2019. That was now 4 years ago.
Man.
So yeah.
I could turn you on to some shows, but you got babies and stuff at home. You don't have time to watch TV.
Everyone could turn us on to shows. Dude, I've stopped listening to a lot of podcasts. I've stopped listening. Like, I just don't consume anything except for like the one video game I play. And then so much Bruce Springsteen. Like, more than I've ever, because my son likes Bruce Springsteen.
Kid likes to classically rock.
I've listened to Born in the USA so many times. You'd think I know some of the words by now, but you can't understand a word he says.
Oh, that's not true. Come on. That's a bad take. Bad take.
All I know is The Yellow Man and Born in the USA. Those are the only words I know.
You got to take him back. Get him some Born to Run, Greetings from Asbury Park. Get him the Live '83. That's a double album. Get him back. Get him a little Rosalita.
I don't know what any of that
Maybe
means.
Jungle Land. Send him over to my house. We'll rock out to Springsteen.
I'll think about it.
Yeah.
I'll think about it.
All right. Listen.
I want to go
Land
back
of
to
Hope and Dreams.
What? I want to go back to something you said about your mom changing flights.
Yes.
On Southwest. Well, that's nice that she's able to change flights at all.
Uh-oh.
Because sometimes you can't change flights, and sometimes you can't go places because you're not allowed to because of international law. And
Mexico.
So I actually didn't think we'd have a show next week, but maybe we will, because I have a friend doing a destination wedding in Puerto Vallarta.
Yes.
Beautiful Mexico, which does sound lovely. It's this weekend.
Okay.
I will caution people perhaps who are considering having a destination wedding in the future. Don't do it at a resort town during spring break, because things are not cheap.
Oh no.
Which is fine. So it's whatever. It's a
Sure.
good friend. We used to go to Mexico. Fine. We decided, all right, we can get my son will be babysat by my parents. We got him. We got to bring the girl. We got to bring the baby.
The girl.
First, we're like,
she drinks human fluids.
Well, first we're like, I was like, I told my wife, I'm like, you could go, because we weren't sure if we wanted to spend the full, both of us. I'm like, you could go and I could just watch her and just give her bottles. She's like, then I got a pump, and then it's like all the equipment and all this other stuff, and then I'd miss it. That's not going to work. That's
you ever run that just you could go?
So then she's like, well, what if you go? I'm like, I don't want to do that. That doesn't sound, first of all, the following weekend, I'm going to Las Vegas for my cousin's bachelor party. Also, Las Vegas, flights not cheap during March Madness.
True.
So 2 weekends in a row, I'm going to places that are at least twice as expensive as they normally are because of the timing. But I get it. He's the bachelor in question is actually a doctor, so the schedule is quite unforgiving. So I get it. You get like 3 days off a year, and they tell you when they are, and that's the way it's going to be, and that's fine.
Okay.
All right, we're good. And it's whatever. It's still cheap because it's Vegas. It's just not like $50 cheap. Fine. Right. Well, we applied for my daughter's passport a really long time ago, and the U.S. passport service is not doing its job.
Oh.
And we do not have a passport in our possession for a flight that is supposed to depart Friday.
Oh, no.
We were supposed to get the passport last week at the latest.
Oh, no.
And there is no way to get a hold of anyone, because if you call the passport office, they just say, we are too busy to take your call.
Sorry,
initially,
sir.
there was an option that was like, press 1 if you'd like us to call you back. And then you would press 1, and then it would say, we are not going to call you back. This is actually not an option. Just kidding. Then one time she got a message that said the average wait time is 2.5 hours. This was like 4 p.m. one day. So we're like, all right. You can get expedited passport services if you schedule an in-person appointment at like a local office, but the only way to schedule that local appointment, the only way is to call them. So there is literally no way to get a hold of anyone. The website has not been updating the status. So we're not going to know till probably Wednesday if we are even going. I booked American Airlines Basic Economy.
Oh, okay.
Which means you literally cannot get any refund or change or rebooking at all. So I will be $900 in the hole if the passport does not arrive, which is great. And that is just for the flight there. That is one way. The other way is through a Mexican airline that we may get up to $150 refunded, but the total flight was more than $150.
I'm guessing it was. Yeah, probably at least double that.
Things are not good. Things are not good.
Why do babies need passports?
This is a very good question. Um,
Do they think
very
you're going to go in there and swipe babies, or you've been stealing babies here?
I mean, honestly, so Monique in the chat, call a library that is doing passport service. Ask them if they have a number. That's a good idea. We could probably call a local library. Funny enough, we applied through our local library here
Oh
in
no.
Lombard. Last weekend, they closed the local library because they are moving to a new location a couple blocks away, and they are closed until April. So there's actually no the library we applied doesn't exist
Oh
for the next
god.
like month. Um, we could try another library, and we'll perhaps do that. That is a good idea. But yeah, so that is where
Oh my
I'm at.
god.
So that's not fun
Oh, that's
for
awful.
me.
I honestly didn't know a baby needed a passport.
So, I mean, for child trafficking, like, it makes
Yeah, are you going to
sense.
be trafficking any
I
children?
get. Well, I'm trafficking my daughter, I think, just to.
I don't know if that counts as trafficking if she's your daughter.
Well,
I
there may
guess
be
how would they know? They
air
couldn't.
traffic.
They
Air
couldn't.
traffic control could, they need to direct the plane. We'll be in that traffic, I guess.
Listen, you
You
don't
might
want to
get in
go
a.
to Mexico now. They're hijacking people, or hijacking and murdering people at the border.
Oh my God. And then, of course, I get all the texts from my family members that are like, stay safe in Mexico, and it's like 800 miles away from where we're going to be.
That's true. I've been to Puerto Vallarta. It's very nice, except it was the first,
Ooh.
maybe not the first time, but one of the first times that we were out. Like we were staying at I guess a resort. It was timeshare kind of joint. Friends of mine and I, right after college, and we went into town to have dinner, and it was the first time I saw a truckload of heavily armed federales just driving around. I was like,
Oof.
huh, that's interesting. Other than
Oof.
that, it was fun. We had a good time. Um, but I've also been in Matamoros a number of times, which is where those people were kidnapped and the two people were killed, and they're telling Americans not to go there. I've been in that town numerous times when I was working in El Paso, and that town is that's truly a border town. That's a hardcore border town.
Yeah.
A lot of there's bullfights and bars that are open 24 hours, and the affection of women can be purchased openly.
Oh, I
And
didn't know that.
oh yes, it was a guy that I don't work for anymore because I was. The theory is that he doesn't book me anymore because I was with him one time when he negotiated some extramarital affection down there, and so he doesn't want to be reminded of it because it was a horrible. It was so I had gone over there a couple times during the day, like to just go into Mexico, and I got one of those steer heads with the skeleton heads, and had some beers and walked around. I never went to a bullfight just because I was like, oh, I want to go to a bullfight, and then I went, I don't really want to go to a bullfight. Gidget doesn't want me going to a bullfight.
Your dog does not. Your dog's not real happy.
My
about
dog,
it.
my dog, and your daughter do not like this podcast. There is no two ways about it. Gidget,
She likes it now that she's asleep.
Yeah. Well, if I was going to say, I'll put Gidget. No, I'm not even going to say it. I'm not even going to use the words. Hold on. I gotta
I don't know what word it'll be. So thank you, Monique. I will try a couple libraries, and then and Mike. Yeah, I just called the number. I actually just called the number that you listed because I was like, have I called that number before? And it said on the caller ID.
So
Vermont.
we go after a show one night.
Passport. Wait, I was saying something.
Oh, sorry. All right. So your the baby needs a passport. Are you going to go to the passport office? Is that the number? Where do you get that?
No, what's
where
funny?
Get
Okay,
that number?
No. Mike dropped a number, so I called that number, and it's so weird. When I called just now, it said Vermont Passport Agency.
Vermont?
Yeah, but when I called on March 10th and on March 9th, it says Western Passport Center. So I don't know why
sketchy.
my phone's being weird, but it is the right number. It is the right number, Mike. I don't know why it says Vermont. It's not your fault. You're totally right. That is the right number. And that's the one that doesn't work. No.
Oh, it doesn't work. Okay. I was
well,
going
right
to say,
now,
it'd be interesting to listen to you try to negotiate for an infant passport.
Right now it's after hours, so I'm not sure. Then I was like, oh, your friend has a 7-year-old daughter. Can we use hers?
Oh, good Lord.
Like, well, but it would show her birthday is 7 years ago. And I was like, right.
Yeah. What kind of weird kind of weird baby you got that's 7 years old, reverse Benjamin Button situation.
Right. So anyway, sorry, you were in Mexico.
No. So what are you going to do? You're just going to have to wait and see?
Yeah.
Why don't one of you go?
She's not going to go alone with the baby. Actually,
No, you wouldn't want to send your wife alone with a baby to Mexico. What are you, crazy?
She said that wouldn't make any sense, and I wouldn't want her to do that. She has told me a couple times, have you thought about going? I'm like, no, I'm not going to go to Mexico for 3 days and then go to Las Vegas for 3 days the following weekend by myself.
All right. What if you get your job by Wednesday? Then you just tear it up for a few vacation days.
No, I think I'm set. Like the job. Okay, so the job thing, I know. I'm not going to give a big update, but I passed the background check.
Oh, that's surprising.
I know, it's shocking. I have an orientation this week. If it goes well, I will let you know.
Okay.
Next week, if we're here, if I'm not in Mexico, which I hope I am, but who knows? Or the following week, I'll let you know how it goes. But it is pretty safe to say I have a job.
All right.
And actually, during the Silicon Valley Bank collapse on Friday, so this job is actually headquartered, I think, in San Francisco.
Uh-oh.
And so I'm like, oh God. So I looked up, and this company now is publicly traded. And so it's off to the races. But at one point during a round of Series A funding or something, some funding round, there were 3 banks that basically bankrolled this company, and the main one was Silicon Valley Bank. So I think they're in the clear. I don't think it is an issue. I haven't heard anything. I've heard on the radio that it's not going to be like a trickle thing. But there was a minor moment of panic of like, are you telling me I just finally got a job and like a bank collapse is going to make it not happen? But that's not so we're fine financially, and that's like part of why we booked the trip. Because I was like, when we booked the trip, I was in the midst of like 4 different job interviews, and I'd gotten some freelance work, and I was like, we'll be good for a while. We can actually afford this. He's a good friend. Let's do it. But the passport thing, oh my God.
Yeah,
you would think like, for American to be able to just be like, sorry, no refund because your passport didn't come. That doesn't seem reasonable.
No, the airlines suck.
American is I legitimately, like, I know some people are always like, I'm never going to fly this airline again. But like, I really am not going to fly American again. And I don't care if I have to spend another $200 to fly United. Yes. I hate American Airlines. They are so bad.
I don't think I've ever flown them. I haven't in ages.
So I know people that won't fly Spirit or Frontier because they're like, Spirit, oh my God, right. Blah, blah, blah. I love Spirit. I'll fly Spirit anytime. I mean, sure, they're a budget, but like, that's the point. They're fine. They're fun. I don't care. I will fly Spirit. I will fly Frontier. I will fly. Was that my son?
Uh-oh. There's children running all over your house. I hope he doesn't come in and chucky you.
No. It might have just been my daughter making weird.
You mentioned her name. It's like Candyman. You said her name 3 times and she is awoken.
I'm in like a haunted house. My wife's going to get home. My son's going to be downstairs playing cars and trucks at 9:30. She's like, what are you doing? He's going to be like, playing cars and trucks.
Yeah.
Fine.
I didn't tell Dad. I just went and played with cars and trucks.
Yeah, I don't know.
You guys just like have them stream it and then buy margaritas and make, fajitas at home?
I don't know, man. They're gonna. Well, I'm not getting them a damn present. I'll tell you that much. I was talking to my friend on the phone the other day. He's like, "Oh, I haven't decided like what to give them." I'm like, This is like a $2,000 trip.
Yeah.
No one is. I'm not getting them anything. They're getting my presents. They're getting graced with my presents.
Yeah, I don't understand the whole destination wedding thing. That's what Molly is planning. She doesn't have a boyfriend, but
what?
She's planning a destination wedding.
Tell her to listen to this podcast. It's like, so I've never been to one, and I'm fine with it, but it does become, it can be very logistically complicated for some people.
Well,
and a lot of stuff can come up.
Debbie's sister got married one sister got married in Vegas, which was fine. And one sister got married because we were living in California. So it was like, we'll drive 3.5 hours to Vegas. That's no big deal. And her youngest sister got married in Hawaii and nobody went. I think her mom went. But it was like nobody else could afford to go or had time to go to Hawaii. And then now last summer we went to my cousin's son's wedding, and that was a destination wedding, but that was in Colorado. So it was like, oh, that's a good excuse for a road trip. So that was cool. If I could road trip or fly domestically, I don't mind flying domestic to somewhere. If somebody I knew was getting married, I don't know, Martha's Vineyard or Cape Canaveral or Death Valley, I'd go and I'd say, boy, this is quite a fitting venue, Death Valley. Enjoy your nuptials.
Oh, let's go, dude.
Well,
yeah, we have no backup plan.
No backup plan.
If we cancel Wednesday, we get some of the Airbnb money back. That's basically it. We're gonna get like pennies to the dollar on what whatever. Like I said, I was excited to go. I mean, like most of his friends are pretty wealthy. They're all like University of Chicago grads. They all make a ton of money, right? Like he doesn't have like a giant group. I imagine like this was not like a bunch of people with no money and a bunch of friends who they're like, oh, they probably can't make it. Like these are like pretty well off, to do good jobs. Like they're all set. Their friends are all set. They knew that we could probably make it. So I don't think it was unreasonable, but we just are screwed unless a passport just happens to show up in our mailbox in the next 48 hours.
You and your active sperm creating more babies that you got to get passports for.
Dude, I mean, like she would fit in one of our rollaway suitcases.
Or could you get a pet carrier? Could you call her a service animal?
Oh,
get one of those little barrettes with the bunny ears on them. Say she's your service bunny.
That'd be pretty rad.
But then I think you have to go get certification for a service animal too. She'd have to wear the vest, be a whole thing.
Oh man,
there's a lot going on. Children, am I right?
Kids, am I right? Yeah. I mean, like the nuclear option would be to leave her with somebody, but we can't. Like, it's my parents are.
Do you know any older lactating women that would take her?
Exactly, right?
Like latch on to.
Yeah, having a 3-month-old, and plus then there's still the whole pumping thing while we're traveling, and it's just not. It doesn't make any sense. So
it's a lot.
That sucks a lot. Like a lot. March is going to be quite the black hole of money, and then like I got to do my taxes, and who knows what's going to happen on top of that. Because that computer, the computer I won from Games Done Quick last year.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Have we talked about this? How I got a W?
No.
Like, you did this with game shows, right?
Right.
Where you get the tax form, and then so if you win something and it's over a certain amount, you get an actual form and you report it as income, apparently.
Yep.
So yeah, I mean,
they reported it income. I wouldn't have reported it at all.
Right. Yeah. So I estimated the value of my PC at $1,500, but they reported it at $3,000.
Oh,
so
that's an expensive PC.
$3,000 added income that I now have to pay tax on, which is like, cool. I got a brand new gaming PC. I'm excited, but yeah, March is.
Wow.
I'm glad.
Sounds like they gave you Wheel of Fortune prices on that PC.
It was a good time to get a job. So I am glad that is resolved for the time being.
God.
Yeah.
There's a lot going on.
There's a lot going on.
Yeah, I didn't even think that it'd be spring break, but it is spring break. It's going to be spring break for colleges. And then, March. I was in Vegas for March Madness once. We were there for my birthday. But again, we drove because we were living in California. So it was, stay at the Flamingo, drive over, boom, lovely.
Nice.
But it's crazy there during March Madness. All the degenerate gamblers are there.
I can't wait.
Degenerate gambling.
It's got to be fun to watch, right?
Yeah, it's great. I miss Vegas. There was a time where I was done with going to Vegas, where I'd been there so much and I'd worked there and I'd seen my name in lights on the strip. But then I was like, after a couple days, because I'm not a big gambler. So if you're not a big gambler, and you don't want to go see a million Cirque du Soleil shows,
Well, do you like Puerto Vallarta? Because maybe I could see if they could change the names on the ticket.
Oh, yeah, we'd go to Puerto Vallarta.
You and your wife could go. We're not, what the hell? We're not.
Yeah, and listen, you were losing the money anyway. Might as well give it to me. I could go. I have a passport.
I would literally give these tickets away.
I have Passport and I have a lot of short sleeve cool shirts. Do I have to go to the wedding?
I don't think so.
All right. Is the Airbnb shared with a bunch of people?
No, it's a house.
Oh man, you're making this sound good. Tell Debbie, we get our asses to O'Hare. Let's go. We're
Actually, that is all right. So here's the backup plan.
Yeah.
The backup plan is if we don't receive the passport the plan was to drop off my son Thursday night with my parents and then drive in Friday morning for the flight. The backup plan is we would still bring him for my parents to watch him for a couple days because they've been planning on it.
Yeah.
And then I would go to the airport and check in for the flight. And then when I get to the thing, two things could happen. If the flight is delayed more than 4 hours, we are eligible for a refund.
All right.
So
that's a gamble.
It's a gamble. It is supposed to rain Friday. It's not supposed to. I don't think that will happen. But airline logistics, computer systems go down. A bunch of crap happens all the time, right? Southwest canceled all those flights, right?
Sure.
Act of God could happen. The other thing is, since it's spring break and it's a height of travel season for going there, I could see if they ask for volunteers to fly,
standby,
to not get on. You know what I mean?
Right, but then but then they just move you to another flight and give you a voucher.
No, with voucher.
They don't just say no. If you're flying, they'll just put you on another flight.
No, don't they give you a voucher?
No. They'll put you on another flight and then they'll give you like a $200 voucher.
Okay. No. But if they overbook a flight, and then they're like, we need volunteers. If you don't want to take the flight, we'll give you like a X $100 voucher. I thought the voucher typically exceeded the value of the flight.
No, and I don't. We'll have to look that up because I'm pretty sure it's just we'll move you to another flight.
Okay. Well, in any event,
wow, you are a degenerate gambler.
Well, I mean, like the only way I could get any money back is if it gets delayed or I'm at the gate and they ask me to volunteer to not fly and I say yes, which I would happily do. So it's a gamble, but like I'll go and do it. At least, I mean, it's $900 for the two of us. One way, $900.
A lot of hundreds.
I would like some of that money back if I could get it.
Now, your daughter is too young to like leave out like a cat, right? With one of those feeding bowls.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because I'd go let her out,
Right. Maybe one with the webcam attached that we could like press a button and it would remotely do it. But I don't know, man. I don't know. I am displeased. And again, don't fly American. Don't fly basic. Like I've never had to not fly, right? Like you buy a ticket and then you have the paperwork and then you go.
Yeah.
And you will send in the passport. It's like we did the passport stuff like the first week in January. And it's like, well, why didn't you do it like right away? Well, because our daughter was like 3 weeks old. Like we couldn't, like we kind of did it as early as we could go in public with her, right? Like,
right.
We weren't going to like go to Staples and be like, here's our 3-day-old daughter. Like,
oh yeah. Where'd you take her to get her passport picture?
Staples.
Is that where you go?
Yeah. I don't know why. To get the passport picture at Staples and we brought it to the library. So we did like first week in January, we're like, oh, let's do this. Great. And then when she checked online for the status of the website, it didn't start getting processed till like a week and a half later after we went to the library. They're like, oh, great, we'll start today. We're like, okay, cool. We just lost a week there. Travel article. TSA carry-on baggage.
Hold on, I'm going to find this.
Mike throwing a link in the chat. TSA detects a cat inside a carry-on bag at the Norfolk airport. I love that the TSA released the X-ray photo. That's pretty funny. Yeah, Ken
says I should crash the wedding. It'd be fun.
Would I get arrested if I tried to put my own daughter in a bag? Like if she was asleep and like really cozy and there was air.
You know what's fun? I'd be doing the story on TMJ. talking about, some lunatic who put his daughter in a cat carry-on bag and then got caught because she didn't have, if it was his daughter, because there was no passport, who knows where he got this baby, why he was taking this baby to Mexico, and then he was coming home with a baby, like a Mexican baby, which is not Mexican. That would be, you'd be pulled aside.
It's a bad situation, Brian.
It's a horrible situation, Cody. I feel bad for you.
It's a pretty stupid situation.
Well, I hate the airlines. You know that.
I do hate the airlines.
Bailed them out, and they do nothing to help us out.
No.
It's all about greed with them, Cody. You know that.
It is.
So, all right. So you'll know. You won't know till what? Wednesday? Wednesday's when you have to cancel the Airbnb?
I believe so.
Okay.
We'll
and
see.
What about the flight? Oh, well, it doesn't matter because you can't cancel. You can cancel it, but
can't do anything with it. Yeah.
They don't even give you like you don't even get the money as a credit towards something else?
Absolutely not.
Really?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
American, it sucks. And when you fly basic economy, and like to fly not basic economy was like an extra like $100 a ticket. And I'm like, that's unnecessary.
Are they the only people that fly to Puerto Vallarta?
Well, we had limited options because we booked a couple months ago. We had limited options because we are traveling with a newborn and we didn't want like an 8-hour layover in Mexico City.
Oh, good Lord, no.
Which was most of them. So most direct flights were super expensive, or you just had to take a super long layover. And
no way. If you were traveling with me, I wouldn't want you to take an 8-hour layover.
No,
I'd be crying like your daughter.
Right.
I'd be gassy. I'd be pooping myself.
Right.
Spitting up, trying to nurse on whatever woman walked by me.
So
awful.
So that was an additional like logistical complicator, right? Is like just the directness. And so at one point, the night we booked, I did think of an idea, and I was like, what if we flew to Los Angeles? Because flights to LA are super cheap from Chicago, relatively.
Oh, okay.
And then we flew there, and I actually did the math, and I found a route that would be about the same, maybe a little less, but it would have given us one day in Los Angeles where her brother lives. I'm like, maybe we can turn it into a family visit. He's out of town that week.
Nice.
So I was like, well, after all that, I guess we'll just book direct anyway. A flight opened up. We made the arrangement. And then get this, the return trip is through a Mexican airline. So I don't speak Spanish, but I just booked it. And so my wife is like, can you check on the refund?
It's an actual airline and not the bus?
Dude, she's like, can you check on the refund policy on this airline? And I'm like, no, I don't speak Spanish. You need to do it. So, because she teaches Spanish. So I'm like, she had to go on the website and check. They're not great with refunds either because it's a budget airline, a Mexican budget airline. You're
going to be flying with livestock and crates and... Good Lord.
Dude, I got to say, though, I think it's like Viva Aerobus or something like that. The Mexican airline, to get like first class front row seats was $9.
Viva Aerobus?
I think so. Dude, it was $9 to fly first class, like a $9 upgrade. I'm like, hell yes, I'm getting that extra leg room. Yeah. Now, for me, on a Mexican airline, when I'm a foot taller than the average Mexican, like, it's... not
Is that on your business card?
I'm not
taller than the average Mexican.
I'm literally not being racist about this. Like, I've been to Mexico. I went to a club with a girl on Tinder that I met with in a like Mexican resort town, and everyone there was Mexican, and I was a foot taller than everyone there. There were like 200 people there. Like, I am a gigantic person. It's just, that's just the way it is.
No, dude, that's how it was in Ireland.
Really?
Yeah, I'm much bigger than everybody in Ireland. Oh, you didn't. Well, you were only there for a couple days.
Yeah, really
not a lot of really tall people in Ireland.
Okay, but anyway, yeah, Americans are gigantic, so that's all I'm saying.
Look at it, this Viva Aerobus. Does look. You can fly right from. It looks like they have direct flights.
Yeah, you can.
Just Mexico City and Guadalajara.
It's very limited in where you can go because Mexico. We're flying from Mexico. Yeah, it's a layover in Mexico City. But
okay.
If you ever want to go to Mexico City, look into them. Like, I mean, I haven't flown them yet, so I don't know. But look into them if you're into like the budget pricing, because they're not going to show up on Google Flights results. I don't think.
I don't think so either. When should I go?
Mexico City?
Yeah. It's either that or Mexico City or Guadalajara.
I don't know.
Let me just see. All right. Oh, it looks like they only fly out on Thursdays. All right. If I'm going to Guadalajara, and then let's see. When do they fly home? Do they only fly home on Thursdays too?
I don't know. My daughter is so passed out right now.
Yeah, she's out. That's good.
I'm flying home Monday on the Aerobus. Well, the plan is to fly home Monday, but I wouldn't get home till midnight, so I would miss our show. So, hey, you listener/viewer will be the big winner if I lose out on $2,000 of travel money, because then we'll do a show next week. I don't know. I'm actually like, as a backup plan, we would continue to have a boy babysat, and we might bring my daughter to some friends for like an afternoon, and I would do like a day date with my wife next weekend or something. And I don't know. I'm cool with like backup plans, but boy, it's annoying when you do everything right. You send in the paperwork, you do all the right things, and then you're responsible, and then the U.S. government is just like, just kidding. We have one office that processes like 350 million people's passports, and there's probably 8 employees. Good luck getting through to us. Like, it's not great.
Yeah, that's not really good. I can fly round trip to Guadalajara, leave on a Wednesday, come back on Sunday for $282.
Where's Guadalajara?
It's in Mexico.
Okay, so I got that far.
All right, well then you and I are Guadalajara. I'm spelling it phonetically, which I'm sure.
Why are we both looking it up on our phone instead of the computer?
I'm on the computer.
No, I'm not. I'm on my phone.
Well, listen. It looks very nice. It's
Guadalajara. Let's see.
Yeah, it's kind of right in the middle of things. Oh no,
it's west of Mexico City.
Yeah,
and a little bit north. Okay, so not even as far as Puerto Vallarta. Yeah, I guess 270 is not too bad. Can I call my congressperson? Good question, Mike. So my friend, I have friends that have friends with like embassies and stuff, and I just haven't. I don't know.
You need to get some contacts. How all your years in media and you still don't have any contacts, government contacts?
Actually, dude, you know what I should do is see if I know anybody at American Airlines. Is what I need to do. Actually, I've got 2 friends from high school who work at United. And fat lot of good that does me, bloke.
Yeah, really, that does you zero good.
Oi, governor.
Zero good.
American Airlines.
You get very upset about your predicament.
Company. How many people do I know? 11 people from Drake University were hired there.
How about in your LinkedIn network?
Who's in my LinkedIn network?
I don't know. Do you have anybody in your LinkedIn network?
I'm looking at LinkedIn right now. That's what I'm looking at.
Yeah.
That's why it told me that 11 people from my school work there, but none apparently are. I'm not friends with anybody.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
I have some second-degree connections, but like
second-degree connections. Those aren't the people you reach out to, are they? To ask for a favor?
No. One's a retired aircraft maintenance crew chief. I don't think he could help particularly.
No, he's retired.
This person's title is Beach Connoisseur on a Journey to Explore the World. What do you do, sir?
Deadbeat. He does nothing. Nothing.
Oh, he's a supply chain performance analyst. He makes more money than both of us will ever see. Yeah.
Damn. I guess that's how you can be a beach guy on your way to explore the whole world.
All right. So let's say U.S. Embassy in... Is that even a company? No.
Do you have any? Do your parents have any government contacts in Rockford? Like a congressman, an alderman, a state senator, U.S. senator?
I don't know. Tomorrow I will.
You're just screwed. How about that? Why don't we just give?
Tomorrow I'm just gonna go because. We've called a fair number of times and just gotten stonewalled. So, it's not like we're on the phone all day. I think tomorrow is just going to be an all day phone day. Like literally, I'm just going to play Final Fantasy 14 and have my phone next to me and just keep hitting redial while I play video games.
I don't blame
for like 4 hours and just see what happens.
And what will the children be up to during all this?
Oh, that'll be fine.
Yeah.
That'll be fine. Actually, well, my daughter's My daughter's been in a being held mood, so maybe I'll just stand around with her in the baby backpack and just stand in my living room playing my video games, my wireless controller with her in the baby backpack, hitting redial. I'm gonna skip leg day is what's gonna happen.
I was gonna say, how are you gonna fit that in with leg day?
Yeah, that's not gonna fly.
Maybe you just lay on your back while you're on the phone playing your video games and use an end table. Just do leg presses with an end table. Try not to crush the baby in the meantime.
I built something today for my living room. Build? All right. So you've seen my sectional couch. It's in the shape of a U.
I have.
All right. Many objects end up under that couch.
Yes.
It's very hard to get those out.
Would it be trains and trucks?
Trains, trucks, cars, automobiles, school buses, helicopters.
All right. Vehicles of all sorts.
A lot of vehicles.
All right.
Occasionally pacifiers. So I went out my garage and I had a bunch of 2x2s. I think it was 2x2. Maybe it was 2x4s.
Okay.
I had like a bunch of 10-foot long, like 2x4s. And I was just like, you know what? I am done with this. I am so done with this. So I just took one, slid it under the couch, measured away from the wall, cut a couple slices, screwed them into each side. So it's the shape of a U, but it sits under the couch. And now if something gets kicked under the couch, you can reach it and there's no way for it to go all the way under the couch.
Oh, so you made a U under the couch.
Yeah, but the U connects to the wall. It's two pieces that come out from the wall and then it goes across. So let me draw a picture.
I was going to say, I thought you were making like a rake.
Where's
that was my first thought when you said that.
Hold on. Why don't I have a pen here? Hold on a sec. I need to get a pen.
This should be good. Anytime Cody is designing things, we have to figure out what it is. Okay. Mike, I don't think he was planning on driving in Mexico. No chance.
Okay. All right.
So is this a permanent thing under there?
No.
Okay. Right. Yeah, I have to see it because I'm not getting it.
Okay.
First, I thought it was a rake. Then I thought you did it like a U on a stick. Or then I thought you did the U, but you left it with a handle so you can pull the U out and it will bring everything from the couch out.
So this is the couch, right?
Yes.
Let me label it.
All right, please do.
Okay.
Make sure you put north, south, east, and west too, so I know which way we're facing. I like this. I like that you're drawing out the room. Give us the spatial relations. And I like that you have time to do it yourself projects during the day.
All right, check this out.
All right.
Okay. So you've got the wall.
Right.
You've got the wall behind the couch.
Got it.
Then you got the back of the couch.
Got it.
Right? That couch is like 3 cushions long, including the chaise.
Chaise, yes.
Right. Then you got the seats, right? So it's the shape of a U. So it comes under that middle part or comes under a corner part. Awful, right? Awful.
Yes.
It's horrible. Horrific. How do you even get that out?
I don't know. Sell it to me like I'm on Shark Tank. Sell it to me like I'm Mr. Wonderful.
So, what if I told you could actually have sex on this couch? Wait, hold on. No, that's not what I'm trying to do.
Wow. I can have sex on any couch. What makes your couch so...
So this is the upside down U.
Okay.
So it's a blocker that goes across. So this it's wood, right? It's wood pieces that go across and then down. So if it gets kicked under, you can reach it easily from any portion of the thing. Because if it's under the chaise, right, you can just get on either side of the chaise and pull it out. Okay. And if it's under the seat, you can go under either side of the seat and pull it out. But it's never going to go close to the wall unless it's like right at the edge of the couch. And I made sure the angles make sense so that you can't see the wood from anywhere, like any angle in the living room, unless you're like on the floor, literally. I'm so sick of pulling toys out from under the couch. I may also do this with my TV stand and the other couch. I may just be like screwing and cutting pieces of wood and screwing them together for the next like 2 weeks because I don't start my job for 2 weeks, so I've got time for home improvement projects. And I
Tony,
may not even
what's your cost per unit on these?
I just had all this wood. I bought it for some project at some point. I don't know what. Clearly I'm not using it. So I just went in my garage and was like, I got all these, like, I've got like 10, like, I've probably like 10-foot long 2x4s. And I'm just like, I'm just going to use these. Why not?
Right. And what's your sales to date?
Well, I sold the idea to my wife, who still hates it in principle, but allowed me to do it. And I consider that very valuable. I consider that priceless, Brian.
Okay, great. I like what you've done. I see the need for it. Don't really see what I can do to help. So for that reason, I'm out.
Okay. What if I told you it came with a chocolate popsicle?
A popsicle?
Yeah.
A chocolate popsicle, like a fudgesicle?
A fudgicle.
Fudgicle?
Yep.
One fudgicle?
Yep.
And what does it retail for then with the fudgicle?
$3.99. The fudgicle retails for $3.99. The wood thing is still priceless.
Still priceless. Well, it's hard for me to market something that's priceless. You see, people want to know the price before they buy something.
But if you get in now, I would give you $50
per unit in
I would
perpetuity.
just give you $50 from my wallet right now. It's the last $50 I have because the airlines have the rest of it, but you'd still get it.
I don't think you know anything about business, and for that reason, I'm in 100% because I'm going to take you for all you're worth. Let me just have you sign these reams of paper, and then we'll get going.
Boy, me getting reamed is something I'm very familiar with.
That's why I know we're meant to be partners.
Great.
Mike wants to know if the fudgicle is also under the couch.
Yes.
And I don't know why we call them fudgicles when it's fudgesicles, but we do. Everybody calls them fudgicles.
Interesting.
Because we don't call them popsicles, call them popsicles. Or as the song that I hear ad nauseum at school, popsicle, popsicle. It's a Go Noodle video that we play. The kids love it. It's a movement video, and they move. And I say, stop. Can we please play something else? Nope. The kids love the popsicle. That's just me, man. What can I tell you?
That's
all
weird.
right. So we're gonna go into business. You're gonna make these crazy U's. See, I thought you would have it shaped like the couch, and then have a little handles on it, so you could just pull it out. And as you pulled it out, everything that was under the couch would be brought out to you. Know what I mean?
So that wouldn't really work because of the number of feet on the couch.
How many feet are? Oh, you mean the
legs?
The actual the legs of the couch.
Yeah, the actual legs would make that very difficult, and it would be hard to kind of do a pull it all at once kind of thing.
One piece jobber wouldn't do it, eh?
Yeah. Plus, you'd kind of need the handles to kind of like hang out a little bit. This is meant to be more like invisible.
Well, sure, but yeah, you could have the hand, the fold up hand. You could. There's ways to do it.
Yeah,
but you're right. With all the legs, it'd be a logistical nightmare.
However, I like your idea. I like where your head is at. Perhaps for the brown couch, I will do that. Or for the TV entertainment stand.
Because it sounds like this, you still have to get down on the ground.
Well, yeah, to get stuff out. Yeah, but you're not using like a broom, and you're not like using a flashlight to try and see under there, right? It's just like a few inches away from the thing.
What if you get some nice like a nice mesh screen that blends in?
I wanted to do that or use clear plastic initially, and my wife was like, "I don't want any plastic." She was not okay with that idea at all.
What if you get like I'm sure they have some sort of bed skirt for a couch that would drop nice matching fabric down in front and create an apron effect.
Yeah, I also thought of that. Shot down.
All right, listen. That's why you and I, we got two great minds. Oh, Mike wants to know if it's sherbet or sherbert.
Sure. I need to sit down soon. This baby is
Yes.
very
Why don't
heavy.
we do that? Why don't we say good night? I used to call it sherbet as a kid. Now I call it sherbet because I'm cultured. To answer Mike's question. All right. So we won't know about next week until we know if you're either in the country or out of the country.
Yeah, Wednesday or Thursday? Question mark.
Well, let me know. Just keep me posted.
Thank you. I will.
Good luck. I hope. Listen, I know your baby's not a terrorist. I think she should be able to travel freely. I hear depending on what news I'm listening to, I hear the borders are wide open anyway. I can't see why an infant can't get across the border.
Yeah, that's true.
Everybody's telling me the borders are wide open. You're telling me I can't get a 3-month-old infant across the border. You know why? Because you're not trying hard enough. That's why.
Yeah.
Can't you take a bus to the border and then, your wife and you are both very athletic. You told us how swole you are. You can't take a little walk across a desert and dig a tunnel?
I could fly to San Diego and then she could. I could
classy.
drive to San Diego.
Right.
And then she could fly. It'd probably be cheaper to rent a car. We could fly to San Diego and rent a car. None of this makes sense.
You don't want to drive into Mexico, dude. No. No. No.
You sure?
Yep. You're gonna drive. Yeah. No, no. You don't want to cross into Tijuana in a car with a baby and then drive down to Puerto Vallarta.
Okay.
One, nobody you know has the kind of ransom money that you two would demand. You three.
Okay. Good to know.
Well, I know I shouldn't speak for everybody. Maybe you know some people who have a lot of ransom money.
Maybe we'll get stuck here, and while we're here this weekend, a bunch of horrible things will happen in Puerto Vallarta. And then I can be like, oh, thank God we didn't go. My family's safe. Maybe it's God is protecting us. I don't know.
Maybe there'll be a tsunami or a hurricane or locusts or something. Sand creatures.
Or a bad pina colada.
Oh, bad. There's no such thing as a bad pina colada. There could be rancid coconut milk, though. An outbreak of rancid coconut milk. Or you could be at one of those places where they're making the whiskey out of or the drinks out of tainted whiskey. You don't want to go there. You don't want to deal with that.
I don't like any of that.
No, go sit down now. You got to rest your legs up for leg day tomorrow, which is you jumping around in your living room. All right. Well, thank you for listening. Thanks for tell everybody. Well, this will be uploaded tomorrow, and
including the first minute when your mic was off.
Yes. Oh man, it's gonna be great. I can't wait to hear it. Or not hear it. Yes, for the first minute when the mic was off. Good luck with the baby. She's been very well behaved since she passed out.
Thanks. Yeah, that'll happen after enough screaming.
Yeah. Well, they tire themselves out. All right. Good luck. Have fun. I hope you're in Mexico. We'll see.
Me too.
All right.
Thank you.
I'm
changing my white balance. I was red this whole time.
Yeah.
Let's make me really white when I say bye. Much better. Okay. Bye.